Hello everyone, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. Today we are here to discuss the solutions of Matrix Olympiad paper which was held on 22 October. So we will start from subject physics and the class is 9th. Let us start our discussion. The question number 1 is here. Which graph represents a state of rest for an object? So when an object is at rest, then the displacement or distance traveled by body does not changes. Here we have out of these four graphs, we can see with time displacement is increasing proportionally. So the object is not in rest. Here velocity is constant. That means object is moving with constant velocity. In this, acceleration is constant. That means object is moving with constant acceleration. Here in the option D, we can see displacement is not changing with time. That means the object is under rest. So our correct answer is option D. Next question, question number 2. In question number 2, it is said a boy is standing at the top of tower of 20 meter. That means, let us write here given quantities. Height of tower is given 20 meter. Drops a stone. This boy drops a stone from 20 meter height of tower. Assuming the value of gravitational acceleration, because when a stone will be dropped, then the acceleration will be equal to the gravitational acceleration, that is 10 meter per second square. The velocity with which it hits the ground is, we have to calculate its final velocity, okay, when it will hit the ground. As we know that this stone will do a motion under free fall, and during free fall we know that its initial velocity is 0. So, by using equation of motion, and that one, the third equation of motion, that is v square is equals to u square plus 2as. Here, in the place of a, I will write g, because acceleration is equal to gravitational acceleration. And in the place of s, displacement, I will write it h, because stone is falling from a height. So we have to calculate v. The value of u is 0. So from here, a very important formula came into role. V is equals to root 2gh. This is a very important formula. Whenever a body will do motion under free fall, then the velocity hitting the ground will be given by root 2gh. So writing the values here, 2 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 20, we will get 20 multiplied by 20. So directly we can see here the answer will be 20 meter per second. So correct answer is option C. Next question, question number 3. When a car driver traveling at a speed of 10 meter per second applies a brake and brings the car rest in 20 seconds. Let us note down the given quantities. The driver is moving with its initial speed of 10 meter per second. And he applies brake, and when 20 seconds are covered, that means time is 20 seconds. After this 20 seconds, the car stops. That means its final velocity becomes 0. We have to calculate its retardation, that means acceleration also. So let us have an equation of motion to find this. We know that formula is v is equals to u plus at. Okay, we have to find the value of a. So from here I can write at is equals to v minus u, and a is equals to becomes v minus u upon t. And simply we can directly write it, because acceleration is change in velocity with respect to time. So putting the values here, the final velocity is 0, initial is 10, and the time taken is 20. From here we will get the answer minus 0.5 meter per second square. So the correct option will be option C. Next question, question number 4. A force of 100 dyne act on a mass of 5 gram for 10 seconds. The velocity produced is. Okay, so all the quantities are given in CGS system. There is no need to convert these quantities into SI system, because in all option answer is also in CGS system. So we know that force is equals to mass into acceleration. We have to find the velocity. So we will write it mass into acceleration. In previous question we have seen formula is v minus u upon t. Okay. we have to calculate the value of velocity. So initial velocity, we can take it 0. So from here, the directly formula of V can be written as force multiplied by time divided by mass. The force given is 100 multiplied by the time given is 10 and the mass of object is 5. So from solving here, we will get the answer 200 centimeter per second. That is, our correct answer is option B. Question number 5. A gun fires a bullet of mass 50 gram with a velocity of 30 meter per second. Because of this, gun is pushed back with a velocity of 1 meter per second. The mass of gun is. So we'll solve this by using conservation of momentum. Okay, what is conservation of momentum? When till any external force is applied, till any external force is not applied, initial momentum of a system will be equal to final momentum. As we know that here the given quantities are, let's say mass of bullet, I am writing it by mb, that is 50 gram. Okay, and velocity of bullet, let us denote it by vb, that is 30 second. Okay, so converting this 50 gram into grams, so we'll do it later. Velocity of gun is given by, let's say velocity, recoiling velocity of gun is Vg equal to 1 meter per second. We have to find out the mass of gun, let's say mg. Okay, this we have to find. So by using conservation of momentum, P initial is equals to P final. We know that till any bullet is fired, the velocity and gun both are at rest condition. So total initial momentum of gun and bullet will be 0. After firing, the momentum of gun and mass will be given by mb vb, this is momentum of bullet, plus momentum of gun mg vg. We have to find the value of mg. So from this, using simple mathematical operations, mg is equals to minus mb vb divided by vg. Okay, so putting the values, mg is equals to minus, so the mass is given 50 gram, converting into kg, I will divide it by 1000. So mb becomes 50 upon 1000 multiplied by velocity of bullet is given 30 and velocity of gun is given 1. So from here we can see it, from these two zeros we will cancel these two zeros. It will become 15 upon 10, which is equals to 1.5 minus, correct answer will be 1.5 kg. So negative sign is only representing that direction of velocity of gun is opposite to the direction of bullet. Okay, so correct option is C. Next question, question number 6. An electric fan continue to rotate for some times after current is switched off. We know that there is a property of material or object known as inertia, so which tries to keep the state of motion of body same. Okay, so directly we can answer this. This is due to inertia. So correct answer is option C. Next question, question number 7. We have to match the column, match the following with column 1 with to column 2. So change in the velocity per unit time. We know that change in the velocity per unit time is known as acceleration, and the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So for P, I will write it 3. Linear momentum. Momentum is given by mass into velocity. So for mass into velocity, the correct unit will be kg, meter per second. So for Q, I will write it 1. And impulse. We know that the formula of impulse, I is equals to force multiplied by time of contact. So unit of force is Newton and for time it is second. So I will write it, for impulse it is Newton second, that is 2. So correct code of answer is 312. 312, that is option B is our correct answer. Next question, question number 8. In question number 8, we have to check which of the statements are true and which are false. So statement 1, aeroplane always fly at low altitude. This is a true statement. Force is required to move a body uniformly along a circle. Yes. To perform a circular motion, uniform circular motion, a special force is required which is known as centripetal force. This is also true. Newton's third law of motion is applicable only when body is in motion. No, this is not true. This law is applicable in motion or in rest condition also. So this is a false statement. So correct code is true, true and false. So that is option B is our correct answer. In question number 9, a case is given here, a paragraph is given here in which there are some information regarding motion of an object is described. So directly we will go through the question. A cyclist is moving on a circular track of radius 40 meter. That means cyclist is moving in a circular track whose radius r is equals to 40 meter. Okay. And completes half revolution in 40 seconds. Let's say he starts from point A and after 40 seconds he reaches to the point B. That means half revolution is completed. Its average velocity is, we know that average velocity is given by total displacement divided by total time. So during half revolution we can see he will travel the displacement equal to diameter. That means 40 multiplied by 2, that is 80, and time taken is 40. So correct answer is 2. So option B is correct answer. So it will be, we can say average velocity in meter per second is 2. Next question. Next question is also based on same case, and the question given is average speed of a car between point A and B is 20 meter per second, between B and C is 15 meter per second, between C and D is 10 meter per second. Okay, let us draw a simple diagram. So let's say this is point A, this is point B, this is point C, and this is point D. So the velocity between point A and B, I am writing the velocity above. Okay, so between point A and B it is 20 meter per second. Between B and C it is 15 meter per second, and between C and D it is 10 meter per second. Okay. Now, what is the average speed between point A and D? We have to calculate average speed, V average, and that is between point A and D. So we know that the formula of average speed is total distance upon total time. Okay, in this question then it is given in the mentioned section the time taken respectively is 20, 10 and 5. That means for A to B it is 20 seconds, from B to C it is 10 seconds, and from C to D it is 5 seconds. So we know that we have total time but we don't have total distance. So first we have to calculate total distance. We will add it and we'll divide by total time taken. So we know that total time taken is 20 plus 10 plus 5. Now we have to check how much distance is traveled from point A to B. We know that speed is equals to distance upon time. So distance is equals to become speed multiplied by time. So we have speed and time for each and every section. So to calculate distance, we will multiply speed multiplied by time. So from A to B, distance traveled will be speed is 20 multiplied by time taken is 20, plus from section B to C, speed is 15 multiplied by time taken is 10, plus for section C to D, speed is 10 and time taken is 5. So let us solve this. This becomes 400 plus 150 plus 50 divided by 35. Okay, this becomes 600 divided by 35. By dividing it by 5, this becomes 7, this becomes 120, and 120 divided by 7, from option we can see it will become option A, that is 17.14 meter per second. So our correct answer is option A. So we have discussed all the questions of physics subject. For more information regarding Matrix Olympiad result and prizes, please subscribe this YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. Now we will discuss the chemistry portion of class 9th. Let's see the question. Which of the following statement is or are correct? The quality of air is expressed in ppm. This is a right statement because we know that the quality of air is expressed in ppm. ppm means parts per million. We can identify the pollutants present in the air or the composition of air or the composition of different gases in the air in the ppm, parts per million. So this is a right option. Next is supersaturated solution contain more solute than the solubility of that solute at a particular temperature. This is also a true statement. We know that supersaturated solution, when we dissolve solute into the solution, so when we dissolve more amount of solute into the solution, the supersaturated solution contain more solute than the solubility of that solute at a particular temperature. So this is also a right option. Option third is solubility of solid solute does not depend on temperature. No, this is a wrong statement, because we know that when we dissolve any solid solute, like we dissolve sugar in water, then when we increases the temperature, the sugar solution form easily, or we can say that sugar dissolve water in very easily. So this is a false statement. Solubility of gases in solvent depends upon the pressure acting on the solution. This is also a right statement, or we can say true statement, because the solubility of gases in solvent depends upon the pressure. When pressure will be increases, then solubility of gases in the solvents also increases. So this is also a true statement. So first, second and fourth means option C is the right option for this question. Okay, now let's see the next question, 12th question. A solution contain 5 ml of alcohol in 70 ml of water. The volume by volume percentage of a solution is, option A is 6.33%, option B is 6.55%, option C is 6.66%, and option D is 6.75%. Volume by volume percentage is calculated by the following formula. Volume by volume percentage is equals to volume of solute upon volume of solution, into 100, means volume of solute. We know that the volume of solute is 5 ml upon volume of solution. Volume of solution means solution is made up by the solute and solvent, and here the volume of solute is 5 and the volume of solvent is 70, and percentage means we multiply by 100. So let's see the answer. 5 upon 75 into 100. So when we solve that, it is 6.66%. So the option C is the right option for this question. Okay, now let's see the next question. Which of the following temperature is same whether it is expressed in the Celsius or a Fahrenheit scale? First is option A is minus 40 degree, option B is minus 20 degree, option C is minus 10 degree, and option D is minus 30 degree. There is a relation between degree Fahrenheit and Celsius. Degree Fahrenheit is equals to degree Celsius into 9 by 5 plus 32. Okay, now let me assume a X temperature where both the Celsius and Fahrenheit show the same value. So let's see. We assume that X is a temperature. Okay, so X is equals to X into 9 by 5 plus 32. So X is equals to 9X plus 160 upon 5. So 5X is equals to 9X plus 160 and 5X minus 9X is equal to 160. When the 5X minus by the 9X, then the answer is minus 4X is equals to 160. So X is equals to 160 upon 4 and the value of 4 is in minus. So X is equals to minus 40 degree. So the answer option A is the right answer for this question. Now let's see the next question. Next question is, which of the following set contains substances which undergo sublimation? So let's see, sodium chloride, ammonium chloride and iodine. Iodine and ammonium chloride are sublimable substance but not the sodium chloride. So this option is a wrong option. Now let's see the option C, naphthalene, camphor and potassium chloride. These are sublimable substance but potassium chloride not. So option C is also a wrong option. So next, let's see the option D, benzoic acid, calcium chloride and potassium chloride. This is also a wrong option. Dry ice, ammonium chloride and camphor. Dry ice. Carbon dioxide is known as a dry ice, and dry ice directly convert into solid to vapor state. So option B is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The question is, tincture of iodine has antiseptic properties. This solution is made by dissolving. Option A is iodine in carbon tetrachloride. Option B is iodine in acetone. Option C is iodine in benzene. And option D is iodine in alcohol and water. Tincture of iodine is an antiseptic which is made up by the 2 to 3% iodine in alcohol and water. So the option D is the right option, means iodine is dissolved in the alcohol plus water mixture. Means the 2 to 3 gram of iodine dissolved in alcohol and water, then we can easily form the tincture of iodine, which is an antiseptic. See the next question. During the separation of immiscible liquid-liquid mixture by a separating funnel, the following steps are followed. Arrange them in a proper sequence. Option A is, the nozzle tap is opened slowly and the heavier component is allowed to trickle down. Second is, the liquid-liquid mixture is poured into the separating funnel clamped vertically. Third is, the lighter component remains in the flask. Fourth is, the mixture is allowed to stand where clear layers of liquids are formed. And the option fifth is, the liquid with higher density shuttles down at the bottom of the flask. So let's see the sequence. This is the first option, means the liquid-liquid mixture is poured into the separating funnel clamped vertically. Means first we situate the that funnel in the vertically and mix the liquid-liquid solution and pour the liquid-liquid solution in that funnel. Okay, now let's see the second option. Means this is a first. The mixture is allowed to stand where clear layers of liquids are formed. When, for example, when we dissolve oil and water, so the mixtures is allowed to stand where clear layers of the liquids are formed. When the two liquids are separated into the two different layers. So the second is this fourth option. Now the nozzle tap is opened slowly and the heavier component is allowed to trickle down. We know that the component which have more density shuttle down and the lighter density substance float on that other substance. So the third, now the first, we follow the first option, and now in the next, the liquid with higher density shuttle down at the bottom of the flask. Yes, the liquid which have the higher density that shuttle down on the flask, and the liquid which have lower density that floats on the other substance. So this is the fourth option, and finally the lighter component remains in the flask. This is the last option. So the option A, second, then fourth, first, fifth and third. So option A is the right option. Okay. Now let's see the question 17. Match column first with column second and select the correct answer using the codes given below. Column first, mixture of sand and sawdust. Option Q, mixture of oil and water. Option R is mixture of alcohol and water. In the column second, there are different techniques. First is separating funnel. Second is fractional distillation, and third is gravity separation. Let's see the column first. Mixture of sand and sawdust. Sand and sawdust are separated by the gravity separation method, because we know that when we dissolve sand and dust, the dust are the lighter particles which float on the water, and sand are heavy particles which is settled down in the bottom. So we can easily separate this mixture by the gravity separation method. Second is mixture of oil and water. Oil and water separated by the separating funnel, because in the oil and water, when we separate them by the separating funnel, the two layers are formed of the oil and water, so we can easily separate them by separating funnel. Next is mixture of alcohol and water. So for this mixture, we use fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is a special type of distillation which separate the solutions which have less difference in the boiling point. So the mixture of alcohol and water separated by the fractional distillation. Now let's see the next question. Which of the following statement is or are true or false? First is melting point. First is melting point is the temperature at which solid and liquid phases coexist at 1 atmospheric pressure. This is completely a true statement, because we know that melting point is a temperature where solid and liquid phases are present in the equilibrium with each other. So the option is right option. So the first statement is a true statement. Now let's see the next statement. Melting point is measure of strength of the forces of attraction between the constituent particle. This is also a true statement, because we know that when the force of attraction between molecules is lower, or we can say is weaker, then the substance melt at the lower temperature, and when the force of attractions are stronger, then it melts on the higher temperature. So melting point is a measure of strength of the forces of attraction between the constituent particles. Now let's see the third option. During changes of state from solid to liquid, temperature remains constant. This is also a true statement. We know that when any state, or we can say that this is the isothermal process. Isothermal process means temperature remains constant when solid state convert into liquid state. So the option B is the right option. True, true, and true. All the three statements are true. Now let's see the next question. Diffusion is the phenomena of intermixing of particles of two gases, substances on their own. Evaporation is the process of conversion of a liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point. So now let's see the question. Which of the following sets of phenomena? Now let's see the question. Which one of the following sets of phenomena would increases on raising the temperature? First is diffusion, evaporation, and compression of gases. Diffusion and evaporation increases on increasing the temperature, but not the compression, because when we increasing the temperature, then expansion of gases takes place. So this is a wrong option. Evaporation, compression, and solubility. Evaporation is possible for this process, but compression of gases, no. When we increases the temperature, then expansion of gases takes place, and solubility is also decreases when we solubility is increases when we temperature. So this is the right option, but compression of gases is the wrong option. So evaporation, diffusion, and expansion of gases, these all are increases with the temperature. So option C is the right option. Now let's see the D also. Evaporation, solubility, diffusion, and compression of gases. Evaporation increases with increase in the temperature. Solubility is also increases. Diffusion is also increases, but not the compression of gases. Okay, so the option C is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. In which of the following condition the distance between the molecules of hydrogen gas would increases? So let's see the options. Increasing pressure on hydrogen gas contained in a closed container. No, this is a wrong option, because when we increases the pressure, then hydrogen molecules come closer to each other. So this is a wrong statement. Let's see the second option. Some hydrogen gas is leaking out of the container. So when the some hydrogen gas is leaking out of the container, then the remaining substance have the more distance between the molecules. Now let's see so this is the right option. Increasing the volume of the container of hydrogen gases. This is also a right option. When we increases the temperature, then molecules have more space, so they can easily move, or we can say that there is a distance between the molecules of the hydrogen gases which also increases. So the option third is also a right option. Adding more hydrogen gas to the container without increasing the volume of the container. No, this is a wrong option. When we add more hydrogen molecules without increasing the temperature, the molecules distance between the molecules is decreases, not increases. So option second and third is the right option. So C option is the right answer for this question. Thank you.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix High School. Today we discuss about Matrix Olympiad paper solution for class 9th biology portion. Let's start. First question for biology solution. Which of the following is called an organelle within an organelle? Option first, plastid. Option second, ribosome. Third, lysosome. And next, microsome. So, according to question, an organelle within an organelle, that is right, ribosome, because ribosome present in mitochondria and in chloroplast. So, ribosome is an organelle within an organelle present in another organelle. So, right option is ribosome. Next question. Nucleolus was discovered by first Fontana. Fontana is the right answer. Fontana discovered the nucleus. Sheridan related to theory. Altman and Robert Brown for another organelle. So, right option is Fontana for nucleolus. Next, identify human cells which lack nucleus. Lack nucleus. WBC, presence of nucleus, so wrong. RBC, that is right for lack of nucleus. Nucleus absent in RBC of human but present in some amphibians and llama and camel. So, right option according to question is option B, RBC, red blood corpuscles. Next, xylem takes part in option first, conduction of water in the plant body. Water conduction is the right option. Conduction of food material, that is wrong. Food material related to phloem. Next, providing mechanical support, that is right. So, according to question, our right option is option A and C, mean D option is the right. Option D is the right. Next, tissue that is absent in monocot is monocot grasses, grass family, monocot family. Monocot that contain single cot. Option first, arenchyma, chlorenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So, according to monocot, collenchyma absent in monocot. Collenchyma tissue absent in monocots. Next, the term tissue was given by tissue term. Robert Hooke, that is wrong. Leeuwenhoek, related to microscope, that is wrong. Bichette is the right option for tissue. Tissue term given by Bichette. Next, match the column first and second. Aleuroplast, elioplast and leucoplast. Leucoplast. Aleuro and elio is the part of leucoplast. But according to this question, match the column. Aleuroplast that store protein granules. So, protein storage is the aleuroplast. Next, elioplast for fat and lipid. So, column second, first option, store lipid, match by elioplast. Leucoplast contain colorless pigment. So, third, R match to third. According to matching, P second, Q first, and R third. 213, 213, 213 option A is the right option for this match the column. 213 is the right. Next question. Which of the following statements true and false? Option first, ribosome are involved in protein synthesis. That is right, because ribosome participate in translation process. True. Next, all cells have cell wall. No, animal cell lack of cell wall. So that statement is false. Fluid mosaic model of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson. That is right, Singer-Nicholson model, fluid mosaic model. According to options, true, false, true. True, false, true. Option A is the right option for this statement's question. Statement 1, true, second false, third true. Option 1A is a right answer. Next, diagram. Below diagram show 4 types of tissue. One of them is skeletal connective tissue. 2 are dense connective tissue. Given 1, 2, 3, 4. Label the part marked into the 4 in figure. Mean to say, first, second and third identification. According to picture, second is the muscle. Then 2 options show muscle. Next one, third, bone to bone, that this one. So third is ligament, bone to bone connection. And fourth is the bone. And first is the tendon, muscle to the bone. So option first, 1 is tendon, second is muscle, third is ligament, and fourth one is bone. So our right option for this 29th, A option is the right. Tendon, muscle, ligament, and bone. Next, last question. Ligament connect a bone with. Ligament. In this picture, ligament is the third option. Third number is ligament. Ligament is the connection of bone to bone. So, ligament connect a bone with bone. So, option C is the right answer according to diagram and question. These are the biology solution for class 9th. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the paper solution of class 9 mathematics of 22nd October 2023. Okay. First question, an irrational number between 2 and 2.5. We have to find the irrational number between 2 and 2.5. So first of all, 2 and 2.5, all number are in the square root form. So we will write 2 and 2.5 also in the square root form. So 2 can be written as root 4 and 2.5 can be written as root 6.25. So which number lying between root 4 and root 6.25? Let's check. Root 11 is greater than root 6.25. Root 5 lies between root 4 and root 6.25. Root 22.5 is greater than root 6.25 and root 12.5 is also greater than root 6.25. So which number is lying between the root 4 and root 6.5? That is the root 5. So option B is the correct answer. Next, find the value of x if 5 raised to power 2x plus 1 equal 6 multiply 5 raised to power x minus 1. So, this expression can be written as 5 raised to power 2x into 5. Okay. And equal 6 raised to power 6 into 5 raised to power x minus 1. Just assume we can write 5 raised to power 2x like 5 raised to power x raised to power 2. Transform in the left hand side, minus 6 into 5 raised to power x plus 1 equal 0. Now let assume 5 raised to power x equal to t. So 5t square minus 6t plus 1 equal 0. What are the factor of this? 5 into t square minus 5t minus t plus 1 equal 0. Now take common 5t bracket t minus 1 common bracket t minus 1 equal to 0. So what is the value of the t? T is one value is the 1 upon 5 and another value is the 1. Okay. Now put here both the values. So 5 raised to power x equal t. T means 1 upon 5. So we can write 5 raised to power x equal to 5 raised to power minus 1. When we compare, what is the value of the x? X equal to minus 1. In another case, put t equal to 1. 5 raised to power x equal to 1. So 5 raised to power x equal to, we can write 5 raised to power 0. When we compare, x equal 0. So what are the value of x? 0 and minus 1. So minus 1 is also answer, 0 is the also answer. So option D, both A and B. A and B both are the answer. Next, if x equal 2 plus root 3, then find the value of x square plus 1 upon x square. See, x equal 2 plus root 3, then what is the 1 upon x? 1 upon x will be the 1 upon 2 plus root 3. Okay. Now we will rationalize it. So when we rationalize it, we will multiply it with 2 minus root 3 and divide with 2 minus root 3. So what will be the value? 2 minus root 3. Okay. Now find x plus 1 upon x. X plus 1 upon x. So what is the x plus 1 upon x? 2 plus root 3 plus 2 minus root 3. Root 3 cancel out. What will be the value? 4. Now what we have to find? We have to find x square plus 1 upon x square. So you know x plus 1 upon x whole square. What is the value of x plus 1 upon x whole square? A plus b is whole square. A square means x square plus b square means 1 upon x whole square plus 2ab. 2 into x into 1 upon x. It will be the 2. Now put the value. What is the value of x plus 1 upon x? 4. So 4 square equal x square plus 1 upon x square plus 2. So from here, what will be the value of x square plus 1 upon x square? That 4 square 16 minus 2, that will be the 14. So value of x square plus 1 upon x square will be the 14. So option B is the correct answer. The distance between the graph of equation y equal minus 1 and y equal 3 is, in a Cartesian plane, if this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, then what is the graph of y equal to minus 1? If these are the point like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So what is the graph of y equal to minus 1? It means y's value will be the fix and x value can be the change. So y equal to minus 1, the graph of the y equal to minus 1 is this one. This is the graph of the y equal to minus 1. And the graph of y equal to 3, it passing through the 3. This is the graph of y equal to 3. What is the distance between them? Y equal to 1 and y equal to 3. What is the distance between them? Y equal to minus 1 and y equal to 3. So the distance between them is, that is the 3 unit and that is the 1 unit. So total the distance will be the 4 unit. Okay. So what will be the distance? 4 units. Okay. Option B is the correct answer. Next. Okay. Next question. A student of a class made to stand in a row. If one student is extra in a row, there would be 2 rows less. If just assume there are x rows in student, so the number of rows will be the y. If in a row there are x student, then just assume there are number of rows are y. So what are the number of total student? Total number of student will be the x into y. Now it is saying that if one student is an extra in a row, just assume one student is extra in a row, that is the x plus 1, then the number of rows will be the 2 less. Then the number of rows will be the 2 less, but the number of student will be the remain same now. So it means x plus 1 multiply y minus 2, number of rows into number of columns, equal to the x into y, because number of student will be the remain same. So what is the solution? The solution is the xy plus y minus 2x minus 2 equal xy. Xy to xy cancel out, and that is the y minus 2x equal 2. Similarly, it is saying if one student is less in row, there would be 3 rows more. If one student is less in a row, the number of rows will be the 3 more. It means similarly again x minus 1 into y plus 3 equal xy. Again simplify it, that is the xy minus y plus 3x minus 3 equal xy. Xy to xy cancel out, and that will be the 3x minus y equal 3. Equation 2. Now you can simplify it. So when you eliminate the y from equation 1 and 2, you have to add. When you will add, you will get x equal to 5, and when you put x equal to 5 in any equation, you will get y minus 2 into 5 equal 2. So y will be the 12. Now it is asking find the number of student in a class. So number of student are x into y. So 5 into 12 equal 60. So option B is the correct answer, 60. Okay. The next question, the value of k for which the system of equation has no solution. So these are the pair of linear equation. If the ratio of coefficient of x, coefficient of y and the constant, if we take the ratio of coefficient of x, just assume x a1 and a2, then the ratio will be the a1 upon a2, and the ratio of coefficient of y b1 upon b2, and the ratio of the constant quantity c1 upon c2. If the ratio of a1 and a2 are same but not equal to c1 upon c2, then the lines are parallel. So when we compare here, that will be the 2 upon k equal minus 8 upon 4 not equal 3 upon 10. If we solve this, we will get the value k equal minus 1. Also we have to compare this one and this one. So what the value should not be of the k? So 2 upon k should not equal to 3 upon 10. So from here the value of the k will be the 20 upon 3. K should not equal to 20 upon 3. It means k equal to -1 is the possible for the no solutions. So k, what is the value of the k? Option C. The area of the triangle formed by the point P 0, 1, Q 0, 5 are 3, 4. P 0, 1 and 0, 5. Both the points are lying on the same axis now. So we will use the fact of the Cartesian plane. In the Cartesian plane, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So 0, 1 is lying somewhere here. 0, 5 is lying somewhere here, and 3, 4 is lying here. So what is the area? When we join this, what is the distance of this between these points? 4 units. And what is this distance? The distance is 3 unit. So what will be the area? Area is the half into base into height. Base is the 4 and altitude, height is the 3. So the area will be the half into 4 into 3. That is the 6 square units. So option D, 6 square unit. Next, the equation of a line that is parallel to x-axis. Okay, what is the equation of the line parallel to the x-axis? Y equal to k. K is any real number and passing through the points 2, -5, and it's passing through 2, -5. It means 2, -5 will be the satisfy this equation. So put the value of the y equal to -5. So -5, that is the k. So the value of the k is -5. Now put in again in this equation. So y equal to -5. So that will be the y plus 5 equal 0. So equation option C is the correct. Y plus 5 equal to 0. If the points A, 0, 0, B and 1, 1 are collinear. If 3 points are collinear, so what will be the area formed by these 3 points? The area formed by these 3 points will be the 0. So area of the triangle will be the 0. So what is the area of the triangle according to this? 1/2 x1 a, y2 minus y3 b minus 1 plus x2 0, y3 minus y1 1 minus 0 plus x3 1, y1 minus y2 0 minus b, and this will be the 0. This is the formula of the area of the triangle. And if 3 points are collinear, then the area formed by the 3 point will be the 0. So that will be the AB, because 1/2 when we will send that side, it will be the 0. AB minus A. When we multiply 0 with anyone, that will be the 0. And this is the minus B equal 0. So what will the equation? AB equal to A plus B. But we have to find the value of the 1 upon A plus 1 upon B. How we will find? AB send in the denominator. So that will be the 1 equal A plus B upon AB, and that will be the 1 equal A upon AB plus B upon AB. So A to A cancel out, B to B cancel out, that will be the 1 equal 1 upon B plus 1 upon A. So what will the value of 1 upon A plus 1 upon B? That is 1. Option A is the correct answer. Okay, next question 40. In a given figure, if A is greater than B by 1/3 of a right angle, then the value of angle A. हमें A की वैल्यू निकालनी है. देखो A and B, यहाँ से आप नोटिस करोगे तो ये स्ट्रेट लाइन है. That is the straight line. So it means A and B are linear pair of angles, and sum of linear pair of angle is 180 degree. So A is greater than B by 1/3 of right angle. One relation is there and one relation is A and B are linear pair of angle. It means A plus B equal 180 degree. Another A is greater than B. A is greater than B by 1/3 of right angle. 1/3 of right angle means 90 degree. A equal B plus 1/3 of 90 degree. Okay. So what is the A minus B? A minus B will be the 30 degree. So A minus B equal to 30 degree. ये आपके linear pair of equation से हो गया. This one is according to the given conditions. So when we'll simplify it, we can add. So B minus B cancel out. 2A equal 210. A equal 105 degree. So angle A will be the option D. 105 degree is the correct answer. Next question, in the given figure, which of the following is correct? Which of the following is correct? First one is the AB parallel CD. This is the AB and this is the CD. When it will be the parallel if the alternative interior angle are same? So let's see. That is the 66 degree and sum of these two angles 36 and 30. What is the sum of these? 66. So alternative interior angle are equal. So option A is the correct. Next, EF parallel to CD. EF will be the parallel to CD if the sum of co-interior angle are also 180. So 150 plus 30, that is the 180. It means sum of co-interior angle is 180. So option B is the also correct. So option C, both A and B. So option C is the correct answer. Next question. Supplementary angles are also called first adjacent angle, B linear pair, C vertically opposite angle, D none of these. Supplementary angle. What are the supplementary angles? Supplementary angles are those angles whose sum is 180 degree. Pair of angles whose sum is 180 degree. But adjacent angle, what are the adjacent angle? The angles having one common vertex and one common ray. These two angles are called adjacent angle. There is no need to be the sum of these two angles is 180 degree. So option A is not the answer. Second is the linear pair of angle. In the supplementary angle, the sum is the 180 degree. And in linear pair of angle, the sum is also 180 degree. But it is must to be follow one more condition in linear pair of angle, that both angle are necessary to be the adjacent also. But in the supplementary angle, it is not necessary. So supplementary angles are linear pair of angles. This is not answer. Third is vertically opposite angle. You know, vertically opposite angle are always equal, but there is no necessary to be the sum is 180 degree. So option C is also false. Option D, none of these above. If A, B and C all are not the answer, then none of these is the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer. Next, if AD is an isosceles triangle in which AB equal to AC, then if ABC is isosceles triangle with AB equal to AC and AD is the altitude, which of the following is correct? See here, when we compare triangle 1 and triangle 2, you will see that is the AD in both triangle is the common, that is the side. This angle ADB equal to angle ADC, angle ADB equal to angle ADC equal to 90 degree, that is the right angle. And in two sides of the isosceles triangle are equal. AB equal to AC is given, AB equal to AC is given. So both triangle with the rule of RHS are congruent. So triangle ABD congruent to triangle ACD. If the triangle are congruent, then corresponding sides are equal. Compare BD equal with CD. BD equal CD by CPCT. So option A is the correct. Next, in the given figure, the measure of angle B dash, A dash, C dash. Which angle we have to measure? We have to measure this angle. Okay. Now you compare the both the triangles. S, A, S. Okay. So it means both triangles are congruent. Now both triangles are congruent, then corresponding angle will be the equal. So angle 3x will be the equal or to the 2x plus 20. So 3x equal 2x plus 20 degree. So the value of the x will be the 20 degree. Now it is asking the angle B dash, A dash and C dash, that is the 2x plus 20 degree. So 2 into x, value of x is 20 degree plus 20. So this angle will be the 60 degree. Option B is the correct answer. In a triangle ABC, if AB equal to AC and BC is produced to D. In a triangle ABC, AB equal AC, AB and BC is produced to D, such that angle ACD equal 100 degree. Angle ACD equal 100 degree. Then the value of angle A, you know very well. That is, if triangle ABC is a isosceles triangle with AB equal to AC, then these two angles, angle B and angle C will be the equal. So from here, what is the value of the interior angle of C? That is this is the 100 degree. So this will be the 80 degree. This one is the 80 degree. This angle is also 80 degree. Okay. And so what will the value of this angle? You can use the exterior angle theorem or angle sum property. So from here you will get the value of angle this 20 degree. So option A is the correct answer. 20 degree. Next, if Px equal to x minus 4, then Px plus P minus x equal to Px equal x minus 4. Now what is the P minus x? It means we will replace x with the minus x. So that will be the minus x minus 4. That will be minus x minus 4. Now add both equation 1 and equation. Add equation 1 and 2. Px plus P of minus x. That is the x minus 4 minus x minus 4. X2 minus x cancel out. Minus 4 that is the minus 8. So the value of Px plus P minus x will be the minus 8. Option A is the correct. Next, if x raised to power 51 is divided by x plus 1, then the remainder is, polynomial is given Px equal to x raised to power 51 plus 51 and other polynomial gx equal to x plus 1. We have to divide Px upon gx and find the remainder. So we will use the remainder theorem. We will find the 0 of gx, the 0 of the gx, x plus 1 equal to 0, x equal to minus 1. Put in the Px. So P of minus 1, odd power of a negative number, so we will get the negative number, and so minus 1 plus 51 and the answer is 50. So the remainder is 50. Okay, question number 48. X plus 1 is a factor of the polynomial. Which of the following have a factor x plus 1? So if x equal to minus 1 is the 0 of any of these polynomial, so for the same polynomial x plus 1 will be the factor. So how we will check? X plus 1 equal to 0, so x equal to minus 1. If at x equal to minus 1 is the 0 of the polynomial of any polynomial, then x plus 1 will be the factor of same polynomial. So option A, minus 1 raised to power 4 plus 3 into minus 1 cube plus 3 into minus 1 square plus of minus 1 plus 1. So when we will simplify it, we will get 1 minus 3 plus 3 minus 1 plus 1. So minus 3 plus 3 cancel out, 1 to 1 cancel out, we will get 1. If we are getting 1, it means we are not getting 0. If x equal to minus 1 is not the zero of the same polynomial, so x plus 1 will not the factor of that polynomial. So option A is not correct answer. Now we can check other options. Option B, x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. So that will be the minus 1 cube plus minus 1 square plus minus 1 plus 1. So when we'll simplify it, we are getting minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. So we are getting answer 0. It means x plus 1 is a factor of option B, x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. Now we can check other options, option C and D. So option C, x cube plus x square minus x plus 1. So at x equal to minus 1, that will be the minus 1 cube plus minus 1 square minus of minus 1 plus 1. So here we are getting minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So our answer is 2. It means it is not equal to 0. So it is not the factor of option C. Now option D. Similarly, when we will solve option D, minus 1 raised to power 4 plus minus 1 raised to power 3 plus minus 1 raised to square plus 1. So that will be the 1 minus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Here also we are getting answer 2, not equal to 0. It means x plus 1 is not factor of option D. So only options B is 0 is x equal to minus 1. So x plus 1 is a factor of option B, x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. Next question, if x upon y plus y upon x equal to minus 1, then the value of x cube minus y cube. So first of all, we will simplify it. After that, we will look in it. X upon y plus y upon x equal to minus 1. When we will take the LCM, we will get xy. That is the x square plus y square equal to minus 1. After simplifying, we will get x square plus y square equal minus xy. When we will send in the left hand side, x square plus y square plus xy equal to 0. Okay. Now it is asking what is the value of the x cube minus y cube. A cube minus b cube, x cube minus y cube can be written as x minus y multiply x square plus xy plus y square. And what is the value of x square plus xy plus y square? That is the x minus y, and the value of x square plus y square, that is the 0. So any number when we multiply with 0, the answer is the 0. So option B is the correct. Next, the graph of y equal px is given below. The number of zeros of polynomial px is. If polynomial is the px, it means we have to find the number of zeros. So we have to check how many times the graph cut the x-axis. So here 1, 2, 3. At the 3-point graph cuts the x-axis. So the number of 0 will be the 3. Okay. Next question, match the column 1 with column 2 and select the correct answer. P, factor of 9x square minus 3x minus 20. So factors of 9x square minus 3x minus 20. So that will be the factor is multiply 20 into 9, that is the 180, and factor of 180 will be the 15 into 12. Okay, and the difference will be the 3 na. So 9x square plus 12x minus 15x minus 20. When we take common 3x, that will be the 3x plus 4. When we take common minus 5, that is the 3x plus 4. So the factors will be the 3x minus 5, 3x plus 4. 3x minus 5, 3x plus 4. Yani P is correct answer is second. Next, factors of 6x square minus 11x minus 35. 6x square minus 11x minus 35. So 35 into 6, 210, and factor of 210, that is the minus 21x plus 10x. when we split it. Now we are taking common 3, that is the 3x, and in bracket 2x minus 7 plus we are taking common 5, 2x minus 7. So the factor will be the 3x plus 5, 2x minus 7. 3x plus 5, 2x minus 7, 1. Next, factors of x raised to power 4 minus 81. X raised to power 4 minus 81. You can write x square z square minus 9z square. A square minus b square. You can write a minus b and a plus b. Again you can factorize x square minus 9. That is the x plus 3. X minus 3 multiply x square plus 9. So 3 is the correct option for the R. So correct option is the 213. 213 option A is the correct. Okay, next match the column first with column second and select the correct answer. If A plus 1 upon A's whole square equal to 9, and then the value of A cube plus 1 upon A cube. A plus 1 upon A's whole square equal to 9, then the value of A plus 1 upon A will be the plus minus 3 na. Two possible values are there of A plus 1 upon A when we are taking the square root. Again, when we simplify it, we will get A square plus 1 upon A square plus 2 equal 9. So value of A square plus 1 upon A square will be the 7. Now it is asking the value of A cube plus 1 upon A cube. X cube plus Y cube. The identity we will use x cube plus y cube. What is the identity? X plus y, x square minus xy plus y square. Okay, so A cube plus B cube means A plus 1 upon A multiply x square means A square plus y square yani 1 upon A square minus x dot y means A into 1 by A, that is the 1. Value of A plus 1 upon A plus minus 3 and A square plus 1 upon A square 7 minus 1. So here we are getting, when we simplify it, 6 3 is 18 yani plus minus 18. So what is the option here? That is the only plus 18. It means plus 18 or minus 18 both are answer. So the choice is the 18. So P's correct answer is 3. Now it is asking next. (32 raised to power minus 3's power 1 upon 5. So this one can be written as 32 raised to power minus 3 raised to power 1 upon 5. 32 can be written as 2 raised to power 5 raised to power minus 3 raised to power 1 upon 5. So 2 raised to power 5 into minus 3 into 1 upon 5. We will get 2 raised to power minus 3, that is the 2 raised to power 3 into raised to power minus 1, and that is the 8 raised to power minus 1. Option first. Next, 2 raised to power 0 plus 7 raised to power 0. 2 raised to power 0 means 1 plus 7 raised to power 0 means 1 and raised to power 0. It means 2 raised to power 0 and the answer of 2 raised to power 0 equal 1. So option 2. So P's correct answer is third, Q's correct answer is first, and R is second. So that will be the 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. Option C is the correct. Now next, match the column first with column second. What is the degree of the x in the polynomial? What is the degree? Degree means highest power of the x in this polynomial. Highest power is the 4. So the degree of the polynomial will be the 4. Distance of 3, 8 from the y-axis. The distance of point 3, 8 from the y-axis. So that this distance is the actual x coordinate and the distance is the 3. So the option 3 is the correct. Next, if x upon y plus y upon x equal to 2, then the value of x minus y is whole square. Check x upon y plus y upon x equal to. Then when we'll simplify it, we will get xy, x square plus y square upon xy equal 2, and x square plus y square equal 2xy, x square plus y square minus 2xy equal 0, and when we will factor x square plus y square minus 2xy, that will be the x minus y whole square equal to 0. So the value of x minus y whole square is 0, option A. So the correct answer is 231. 231, option A is the correct. Which of the following statements are true or false? The sum of rational and irrational number is always irrational. Yes, when we take any rational number plus any irrational number, we will always get the irrational number. Option A is the true. Second, square root of a negative number does not exist. Yes, square root of a number does not exist. It means option second is the correct. The degree of the quadratic polynomial is 3. The degree of the quadratic polynomial is 2. It means option 3 is the false. So correct answer is TTF. TTF. Option B is the correct. Which of the following statements are true or false? Root 2 is greater than cube root of 3. So value of the root 2 is approximate 1.41, and value of cube root of 3, that is the 1.44. So root 2 is less than cube root of 3. It is saying root 2 is greater than cube root of 3, that is the false. The line y equal k is parallel to y axis. The line y equal to k is parallel to the x axis, not parallel to the y axis. So second statement is also false. 41 and 43 are twin prime numbers. What are the twin prime numbers? Twin prime numbers means combination of the prime number whose difference is 2 or less than 2. It means both are the prime number and the difference is the 2. So it means option 3 is true. So the correct answer is FFT. FFT, option C is the correct. Next, which of the following statements are true and false? Any point lies on the y-axis is of the form 0y. Any point lying on the y-axis. If there is any point lying on the y-axis, it means the x coordinate of that point will be the 0 and it can have any y coordinate. So form 0 and y, that is the correct. X minus 2y is the example of the binomial polynomial. Yes, x minus 2y is the example of binomial. What is the binomial meaning? Meaning of the binomial is any algebraic expression having two terms. So second one is also true. X minus 2 is a factor of x square plus 2. If let's check, zeros of x minus 2 is 2. Put in this one. 2 square plus 2, we are getting 6. We are not getting 0. It means x minus 2 is not factor of x square plus 2. So options 3 is false. So true, true, false. True, true, false. Option A is the correct. Next, from the given graph, answer the following question. Area of triangle AOB. AOB. Here is the perpendicular. What is this distance? 3. What is this distance? 4. So it is a right angle triangle. So the area will be the 1 by 2. 4 into 3. That is the 6 square unit. Option D is the correct. Next, from the given graph, answer the following question. A. Equation of a line which passes through the point 0, 4 and 3, 0. That is the 0, 4 and that is the 3, 0. We have to find the equation of that line. If a line is passing through two coordinates, we can find the equation. What is that equation? Y minus y1 upon x minus x1 equal y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. that is the equation of a line which passing through the two coordinates. So y minus y1, y, if this is the point A, y1 will be the 4, y minus 4 upon x minus x1, 0, equal y2 minus y1, 4 minus 0 upon x2 minus x1, minus 3. So the equation will be the y minus 4 upon x equal to 4 upon minus 3. So that will be the y, so that will be the minus 3 y minus 4 equal 4x minus 3y plus 12 equal 4x. Now change according to date. Okay, so 4x is the positive na, so we will send in the this side, so that will be the 4x plus 3y minus 12 equal to 0. 4x plus 3y minus 12 equal to 0. Option C is the correct. Paragraph 4, question number 59 and 60. For a polynomial px of degree n greater than 1, where n is a natural number, pa equal 0 and a is a real number, then x minus a is a factor of px. That is the factor theorem statement. Now it is asking what is the value of p3 for the particular polynomial. Now put x equal to 3. So the solution will be the 3 cube minus 3 into 3 square plus 4 into 3 minus 12. Cube of 3, that is the 27, minus this one is also 27 plus 12 minus 12. So 27 minus 27 cancel, 12 to minus 12 cancel, the answer is the 0. So option A is the correct. Find the value of k if x minus 1 is factor of 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus k. If x minus 1 is factor of 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus k, then at x equal to 1, the px will be the 0. Okay, so put px equal to 1, that is 4 into 1 cube plus 3 into 1 square minus 4 into 1 plus k equal 0. When we will simplify it, we will get 4 plus 3 minus 4 plus k equal to 0. 4 minus 4 cancel out. The value of the k is minus 3. The value of the k is minus 3. Okay, thank you so much.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. We are here to discuss the solution of Matrix Olympiad paper of class 9th reasoning conducted on 22 October 2023. Hope you performed very well. So let's get started. So question number 61 and 62. In which of the following questions a number series is given with one term missing? Choose the correct alternatives that will continue the same pattern and replace the question mark in the given series. So series is 1.5, 2.3, 3.1, 3.9 and find the next number. So first find the pattern of the question. So what is the pattern of the question? So adding 0.8 in each term, then we get the next term. Now 2.3 plus 0.8, it means 3.1. Now 3.1 plus 0.8, it means 3.9. Similarly, plus 3.9 plus 0.8, it means 4.7. So 4.7 is the next term of the given series. It means option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 62. So series is 2, 2, 32, 42, 57, 87, 162 and find the next term. So find the pattern of the question. So pattern of the question is first find the gap between first two term. It means 20. Now again find the gap. It means plus 10. Now find the 42 42 minus 32. It means again plus 10. 57 minus 42, it means 15. Now next, 87 minus 57, it means plus 30. Now 162 minus 87, it means 75. 220 multiply 0.5, it means 10. Now 10 multiply by 1, it means 10. It means 10. Now 10 multiply by 1.5, it means 15. 15. Similarly, 15 multiply 0.5 multiply 0.5 multiply by 1 multiply by 1.5. Now next multiply by 2, it means 30. 30. Now 30 multiply by 2.5, it means 75. 75. Similarly, 75 multiply by first number multiply by 0.5, second number multiply by 1, third number multiply by 1.5, now fourth number multiply by 2, fifth number multiply by 2.5, now sixth number multiply by 3, multiply by 3. So 75 multiply by 3, it means 225. It means 225. So adding 2 to 5 in the next term. So next term is 162 plus 2 to 5. So it means 783. 387 is the correct next missing term. So it means option A is the correct answer of this question. So next question is question number 63. Question number 63, Reena walked 10 feet from A to B in the east. Then she turned to the right and walked 3 feet. Again, she turned to the right and walked 14 feet. Now, how far is she from A? Before starting this question, we should know that there are 4 types of main direction. One is east, north, this one is south and west. And there are 4 types of cardinal direction. One is northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. So according to question, Reena walked 10 feet from A to B. Reena walked from point A to B in the east, 10 feet east. Now she turned to the right. She turned to his right and walked 3 feet and walked 3 feet. Again she turned to the right and walked 14 feet. Again she turned to the right and walked 14 feet. 14 feet. Now far is she from A? Now find the distance between initial point to end point. So let's suppose this is B, C and last end point is D. First, draw a parallel line with respect to BC. With respect to BC and mark this point as E. So according to this, AE parallel to BC. AE parallel to BC. So AE is equals to BC. BC and both are 3 feet. So value of AE is also 3 feet. Now find the value of AE. AE. So value of EC. Find the value of EC. EC is equals to AB and both are 10 feet. And now finally find the value of DE. Value of DE. So DE. So D means DC DC minus EC. DC minus EC. It means DE. So value of DC is equals to 14 and value of EC is 10. So it means 4 feet. So value of D is 4 feet. So value of D is 4 feet and value of A is 3 feet. Now in right angle triangle AED, in AED, in right angle triangle AED, using Pythagoras theorem in this question. So according to Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equals to hypotenuse, it means AD square. AD square is equals to perpendicular square. Perpendicular means AE square plus base square, it means DE square. DE square. Now AD square is equals to AE. AE it means 3 feet. So 3 square plus DE. DE it means 4 feet. So 4 square. So 3 square plus 4 square. It means 9. 3 square means 9 plus 4 square it means 16. So AD square is equals to 25. Now AD is equals to root 25. It means AD is equals to 5 feet. So distance between initial point to end point is 5 feet. 5 feet. It means option B is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 64. If southeast becomes north, northeast becomes west, and so on, what will west becomes? There are 4 types of direction. One is east, north, west, and this one is south. Northeast, this one is southeast, northwest, and last one is northwest. Southwest, northwest, northeast, southeast. So according to question, southeast becomes north. Where is southeast? Southeast. Southeast becomes north. So this direction now known as north. And northeast becomes west. Northeast becomes west, and so on. It means opposite of north is south, opposite of west it means east. So what will west becomes? Where is west? Here is west. So now west becomes southeast. Now west becomes southeast. It means option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 65. In a row, Mukesh is at 6th place from the left end and Pradeep is at 10th place from the right end in a row of boys. If there are 3 boys between Mukesh and Pradeep, then what could be the minimum number of boys in the row? So total boys is equals to 23. So in a row, Mukesh is 6th place from the left. Mukesh is 6th place from the left. And Pradeep is at 10th place from the right. And Pradeep as 10th place. 10th place from the right. If there are 3 boys between Mukesh and Pradeep, there are 3 persons between Mukesh and Pradeep. Okay, then what would be the minimum number of boys in the row? So find the total number of boys. Total number of boys. Maximum number of boys is equals to left position of the first person plus right position of the other person plus mid person. Number of mid person. So left position. So Mukesh left position is 6 plus other person right position. So Pradeep position from the right is 10 plus number of mid person is equals to 3. So 10 plus 6 plus 10 plus 3, it means 19. So there are maximum person in this row is 19. And find the total minimum person in this row. So formula is left position of the first person plus right position of the other person minus number of mid person minus 2. So left position of Mukesh, it means 6 plus right position of the other means Pradeep. Right position of Pradeep is 10 minus number of mid person is 3 minus 2. So 6 plus 10, it means 16 minus 3 minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2, it means minus 5. 16 minus 5, it means 11. So total minimum boys in this row is 11. It means find the minimum number of boys. It means 11. Option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 66. Ram and Shyam are ranked 13 and 14 respectively in a class of 23 students. So total student is equals to 23. So total student is equals to 20. And Ram rank is 13. So rank means position of Ram from the top is 13 and 14. Position of Ram from the top is 14. Position of Ram from the top is 14. Shyam is 14. What are their rank from the last respectively? Find the both rank from the last. So find the Ram rank from the last. So formula is total minus Ram position from the top plus 1. So total is equals to 23 minus position of Ram from the top is 13 plus 1. So 23 minus 13, it means 10 plus 1, it means 11. So position of Ram from the last is 11. Now find the position of Shyam from the last is equals to, formula is total minus position of Shyam from the top plus 1. So position of, so total is equals to 23 minus position of Shyam from the top is 14 plus 1. So 23 minus 14, it means 9 plus 1, it means 10. Position of Shyam from the last is 10. So it means 11 and 10 is the correct position of Ram and Shyam from the last. It means option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 67. If L denotes divide, M denotes multiply, P denotes plus, Q denotes minus, then which of the following statement is true? Taking all option one by one. So according to option A, 32. So P means plus 8, L means divide 16, Q means minus 4 is equals to minus 2 by 3. So using BODMAS rule in this expression, so 32 plus, divide the numbers, 8 divided by 16 means 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 minus 4 is equals to minus 2 by 3. So 1 by 2, it means 0.5. So 32 plus 0.5, it means 32.5 minus 4 is equals to minus 2 by 3. So 32.5 minus 4, it means 28.5 is equals to minus 2 by 3. So 28.5 never equals to minus 2 by 3. It means option A is the incorrect option. Now taking option B. So according to option B, 9. So P means plus 9. L means divide 9. Q means minus 9. M means multiply 9 is equals to minus 71. So using BODMAS rule, first divide the numbers, then multiply the numbers. So 9 plus 9 divided by 9, it means 1, minus 9 multiply 9. Multiply the numbers, 9 multiply 9, it means 81 is equals to minus 71. So 9 plus 1, it means 10, minus 81 is equals to minus 71. Plus 10 minus 71, minus 81, it means minus 71 is equals to minus 71. Yes, option B is the correct answer of this question. So option B is the correct statement. So question number 68. In the question below consists of a question and two statements numbered 1 and 2 given below it. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. Read both the statements and give answer. So in this question, we check whether the given data in this statement are sufficient to answer the question or not. So question is, how much was the total sale of the company? So find the total sale of the company. Now we have two statements. First, taking both statements separately. दोनों ही statement को अपने को separate लेना है. So according to statement first, the company sold 8,000 units of product A, each costing 25 rupees. So total unit of product A is equals to 8,000 and 1 unit cost of product A is equals to 25 rupees. Now the total cost of product A is equals to 8,000 multiplied by 25. 8,000 multiplied by 25, it means 2 lakh. It means 2 lakh. So total cost of product A, it means total sale of product A is equals to 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh rupees. अभी 2 लाख रुपीस कंपनी की टोटल सेल नहीं है, बिकॉज हो सकता है कि कंपनी के पास अदर प्रोडक्ट बी भी हो, प्रोडक्ट सी भी हो. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू स्टेटमेंट सेकंड, दिस कंपनी हैज नो अदर प्रोडक्ट लाइन. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू स्टेटमेंट सेकंड, इस कंपनी के पास अदर प्रोडक्ट लाइन नहीं है. तो इट मीन्स हो गया जो कंपनी के पास जो प्रोडक्ट ए है उसकी टोटल सेल होगी, कंपनी की टोटल सेल होगी. सो टोटल सेल of company is equals to total sale of product A. जितनी प्रोडक्ट ए की सेल होगी उतनी कंपनी की टोटल सेल होगी. सो दोनों स्टेटमेंट को अपन कंबाइन करने से ही कंपनी की टोटल सेल फाइंड हुआ है. So the data in statement first and statement second together are sufficient to answer the question. So it means option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 69 and 70. Six friends are sitting in a circle and are facing the center of the circle. Deepa is between Prakash and Pankaj. Preeti is between Mukesh and Lalit. Prakash and Mukesh are opposite to each other. Deepa is right to Prakash. So according to this question, six friends are sitting in a circular table and are facing towards the center. All are facing towards center. Deepa is between Prakash and Pankaj. Let's suppose here is Deepa. So now here is Prakash. So then here is Pankaj. अगर यहाँ पे प्रकाश है तो यहाँ पे पंकज है, तो यहाँ अगर यहाँ पे पंकज है तो यहाँ पे प्रकाश होगा फिर. According to next information, Preeti is between Mukesh and Lalit. So Preeti is between Mukesh and Lalit. तो प्रीति की प्लेस यही होगी. बिकॉज अगर प्रीति की प्लेस ये नहीं होगी तो अगर प्रीति की प्लेस ये लेते हैं तो इसका मीन्स यहाँ पे तो पंकज हो गया, यहाँ पे मुकेश या ललित, ये दोनों एक साथ नहीं आ सकते, तो इनके मिड में नहीं आ सकती प्रीति. अगर प्रीति की प्लेस यहाँ लेंगे तो प्रीति यहाँ पे प्रकाश हो गया, यहाँ पे अदर हो जाएगा, तो मुकेश और ललित के मिड में नहीं आ सकती. सो प्रीति की प्लेस ये होगी. सो हेयर इज मुकेश. सो यहाँ कौन हो जाएगा? यहाँ ललित हो जाएगा. अगर मुकेश यहाँ है, ललित यहाँ, अगर ललित यहाँ है तो मुकेश फिर यहां होगा. नाउ अकॉर्डिंग टू नेक्स्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन, प्रकाश एंड मुकेश आर अपोजिट टू ईच अदर. प्रकाश एंड मुकेश आर अपोजिट टू ईच अदर. सो प्लेस ऑफ प्रकाश इज नॉट फिक्स्ड. सो लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट information. Deepa is right to Prakash. Deepa is right to Prakash. So here is Prakash. Here is Prakash because Deepa is right to Prakash. So अगर यहां पे प्रकाश है तो फिर यहां पे फिर पंकज है. एंड प्रकाश एंड मुकेश आर अपोजिट टू ईच अदर. प्रकाश यहां तो यहां पे फिर मुकेश है because they are opposite. Prakash and Mukesh are opposite to each other. So यहां पे मुकेश है तो यहां पे फिर ललित होता है. So according to question, who is sitting immediate left to Prakash? So Prakash की immediate left. So Lalit is the immediate left to Prakash. So it means option D is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. Next question is question number 70. Six friends are sitting in a circle and are facing the center of this circle. Deepa is between Prakash and Pankaj. Preeti is between Mukesh and Lalit. Prakash and Mukesh are opposite to each other. Deepa is right to the Prakash. So according to previous question figure, here is Deepa and here is Prakash. Here is Pankaj and here is Mukesh because Prakash and Mukesh are opposite to each other. And here is Lalit and Preeti is between Lalit and Mukesh. So who is sitting immediate right to Pankaj? So all are facing towards the center. So this is the right of Pankaj. So who is the immediate right? So immediate right of Pankaj. So Mukesh is immediate right to Pankaj. It means option A is the correct answer of this question. Thank you everyone.